Long ago, when the world was bright and full of stories, an evil wizard gained the power to touch the face of God. Narrativa, goddess of stories and weaver of our world, banished him to the void, but not before he stole a piece of her divine essence. With this newfound power, the wizard lay a dread curse upon all the world, the Glyph Purge, which struck from the minds of all mortals the knowledge of how to read and write. Now, all that stand between the Isle of Meosha and an age of endless ignorance are the bards, who tell stories of distant lands, exotic creatures, and brave heroes. This is one such tale.
Hello and welcome to the first official episode of Challenge Rating Zero, the latest and greatest actual play D&D podcast to hit the internet airwaves. I am Sam, your dungeon master. I'm joined as always by my dear friends and adventuring companions. Let's try to make this smooth this time.
That's not going to happen.
Anyway, I'm Brian. I will be playing Hector the Gatekeeper.
I'm Beth. I will be playing Rillo Longshadow.
I'm Michael, and I would like Sam to introduce me instead.
That is Michael, whose full name is Michael Parker. He is the venerated owner of Game Haven, the store in which we are recording this lovely show of ours. He will call himself Michael. We will call him Parker. Marker for short. No, never that. It is, full disclosure, it is 5 a.m. We started prepping for this at 4 a.m., and that might just show. And Parker will be playing the character Zurabak. That's his character's name. So let's just get into this, man. You guys ready to play some fucking Dungeons and Dragons? We ready to do this?
Probably. We'll find out.
Yes.
Brian's just eating that mic, just like I told him. All right. So, our adventure begins. The three of you, Hector, Rilla, and Zurabak, you are on a road. Not too crazy. Kind of a weird premise, I know.
Man, roads suck.
Yeah, they're the worst, man. You three are on a road in the Briar Marsh, the trackless, thorn-choked swamp that dominates the southern tip of the island of Meosha. You are on this road accompanying the Bard Sebastian, who recruited all three of you into his quest to end the horrid curse that lay upon the land. It has been rather slow going, as you all soon learned, traveling with him for the past few days or weeks, that he does not travel light. Sebastian is traveling in a wagon the size of a small bus, pulled by a team of 4 horses, which looks even more ridiculous considering his diminutive gnome form. This man is 3 feet tall and is piloting a wagon about 20 feet long, which has made it slow going as you guys travel south. I would like to start this adventure in this horrible swamp you guys are traveling through with everyone just rolling me initiative. Let's just get this kicked off right now. Let's just go. Everybody roll initiative, because, oh boy, some shit's going to happen. All right, so we're rolling initiative to see who's...
Hector rolled a 7.
Hector rolled a 7. That's not the best.
It's not.
Rilla, what did you get?
22.
22. That's close to the best. Zurabak?
Zurabak got 18, Snake got 17.
So I'm sorry, your Snake got what on its initiative?
I got 18, Snake got 17.
Snake got 17. Okay.
I rolled an 18.
A lot of good that better initiative.
Snake's
did
Just write that in there for Snake, I guess, and then the things that I want to hurt you with got that number. So we're going to start the order with Rilla. Rilla, here's what you're looking at. You are on a road through the swamp. The road is made up of thick wooden boards built up on pylons that are kind of hanging over the pools of brackish black water that make up this swamp. The road is about 10 feet wide, just wide enough for Sebastian to get his wagon rolling on down the line with you guys up ahead. As you guys are making your way down this road, out of the swamps around you crawl 3 large, nasty, greasy, hungry-looking dire rats. We're talking big rats about the size of small terriers with razor-sharp yellow incisors and beady red eyes. They come shambling up out of the swamp. They are about 10 feet away from you, down the road. Rilla, it's your turn. What do you do?
I shoot one with my longbow.
That sounds like a fucking excellent plan. Rilla Longshadow draws her longbow. 20, that's a great attack roll. That's absolutely a hit. You draw your bow and fire. You tag one of these dire rats.
So that's 3 points of damage.
Fantastic. That is a good hit. Substantial on this creature. You put an arrow in its hindquarters and its fleshy haunches, and it screams in pain, its nose wrinkling in the air. It is hurt, but not quite down yet.
Are we on this wagon, or are we just walking next to it?
You're like walking in front of it. You're like, yeah, like bodyguard style. You are accompanying this. It moves so fucking slow that you can just keep up with it walking. Let's see. That makes it Zurabak's turn. Zurabak, you are next.
How far away were they?
They are 20 feet away from you.
You said 10.
They are 10 feet away from you.
There you go.
Like I said they were just a moment ago. You saw me grimace when I said 20. It's fucking jazz, baby. We're just making it up.
I move forward and poke it with my spear.
Fantastic. Zurabak moves forward in grand dramatic fashion, pokes a rat with a spear. I assume you don't need to roll an attack roll. You're just going to give it just a little poke? Or do you, attack it?
I'm going to probably hit it non-lethally.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha. Like druids do. So
19 to hit.
19 to hit, including the penalty for using your weapon to do non-lethal damage to it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I have a +5 to hit.
That is a hit. So for those that don't know, when you're playing Dungeons & Dragons and you roll an attack roll to just fuck something up, if you want to, you can decide to not kill it, but just knock it out and make it go night-night, which is what Zurabak has decided to do here. I'm assuming because you're a druid, a nature warrior.
I'm just letting them know not to eat me.
Fantastic. So how much damage did you do to this rat?
13.
13 points of damage. Now, are you targeting the same one she hit with her bow?
No, I assume we have different targets.
Okay. So one more time, what was the damage on that?
13.
13 points of damage. Holy crow. So Zurabak rushes forward. And you said you poked this rat, but really with that much subdual damage, you kind of golf swing this fucking thing. You rush up with your spear, and you find the soft part that's not going to kill it, and you swing and just bludgeon this thing right off the goddamn road.
I'm used to hitting them off my raft.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No free rides.
This thing goes squee and just tumbles and spins splashingly into the water beside the road. That is one rat dispatched. Nicely done. Let's see. That makes it Snake's turn. Does Snake do anything?
Yes.
What does Snake do?
What's the next closest one?
Oh, man, like right there.
Okay.
They were all 10 feet. You moved up to hit one melee. It's right. They're both right in front of you.
He doesn't have as good of movement speed, but he does
Sure.
have swim and climb speed that are exactly the same.
Yeah, that's a good thing about snakes. They are all-terrain vehicles in this game.
He just goes. He is going. I push him. Well, I just make him attack. I don't have to push him because he knows how to bite things. It's a thing he knows. 12 to hit.
12, unfortunately, is not going to do it. That is close, but no cigar. Your snake rears back and lashes out with its poisonous fangs. It is a viper, correct? I think we established that.
It is biting, correct.
All right. Your super bitey viper snake, named Snake, lashes out, and its fangs hit on one of the bony protrusions on this dire rat, and unfortunately are not able to break its skin. That makes it the rat's turn. So there are 2 left. One of them is going to attack Zurabak, the half-orc druid, standing right in front of it.
Why can't it attack Snake instead?
Because it wants you. It wants your fleshy.
You're tastier looking.
Yeah, you're a much more substantial meal. So it lashes out with its sharp teeth to try to eat you.
It hits.
It got, well, let me tell you what it got, because it rolled kind of bad. It got a 10. Does a 10 hit you?
Yes.
A 10 hits you?
I have no dexterity.
You have no so your armor class is 10.
Currently, yes.
Ho hachimachi. Folks, for those of you that don't know, that's a low number. That's not as low as it can be, but basically kind of, it's pretty bad. Fantastic. Congratulations. This rat... You get bit by a dire rat.
It's not hard.
Yeah, it chomps its little teeth. No wonder you're so aggressive, moving them around. Get them out of here before they bite. Ow! So yeah, you rush forward and bowl one of these fucking things right off the road, and its homie comes up and gives you a little bite. That is 2 points of bitey damage from a dire rat as it chomps down on your leg. Do you wear boots? I was gonna say your booted foot. I don't want to speak for your character choice.
Don't believe he wears boots. He's not a boot kind of fella.
Do you wear? Are we talking hippie sandals? Are you barefoot?
Just barefoot.
Fantastic. This rat bites your bare, unprotected foot, and boy, is it a little painful.
I'm gonna hit it with my stick.
Eventually. That's rat number 1. Rat number 2, remaining rat, is going to step forward and try to take a bite of your snake as you guys both rushed up into the fray. Wow, holy shit. That is a 22 to hit your snake.
Barely.
Fantastic. Just barely got it. Just barely got it.
Class is very high.
Okay. You and your snake companion, that's what you get for, rushing on down there, both getting all bit.
They started it.
Your snake, they did start it. Your snake takes 3 points of bitey rat bite damage from a rat that's bitey.
All right, he's not dead.
Well, that's good to hear.
I'm closer to dead than he is.
Fantastic. Well, that's the fun thing about being a druid is sometimes the animal that joins you in combat, actually a lot of times, way tougher than you physically.
Especially in the beginning.
Yeah. And finally, that brings us to Hector the Gatekeeper, Keeper of the Gates. Hector, it is your turn. There are 2 rats on the road about 10 feet from you. What do you do?
Upon seeing my new dear friend and his druid get attacked.
Charming, lovely.
Don't fear, friend. I will protect you. And I step forward and I swing my ridiculously huge maul down at the rat that bit Zurabak.
Fantastic.
Not the snake?
No, you are clearly in more trouble than your snake.
Anyone could tell.
Actually,
a blind
we
observer
just
could
have
tell.
the same health.
All right, so Hector the Gatekeeper rushes forward heroically to swing his massive melee weapon at a rat.
23?
I'd say that's going to be a hit. Absolutely. A mighty, powerful swing right on target.
16 points of damage.
Oh, my good
That's
gracious.
Like, just...
Holy...
That is max damage.
Holy good... Oh, my goodness.
Just liquid.
Wow. 16 points of damage?
Yes.
Those numbers are high.
Yes.
Oh, boy. Fantastic. That's because...
Max damage. I am a level 1 character.
No, yeah. That's That's fucking fantastic. You are playing whack-a-mole. It's funny because Zurabak rushed up and sort of like whacked one of these things unconscious and bowled it into the water. You come up playing whack-a-mole. I got this. Squish. You bring your hammer down like fucking Super Mario and you completely obliterate this rat. You turn into paste in one go. There are brains and eyeballs coming out of this thing. It is disgusting. Completely dispatched.
I think I got it.
Yeah, you definitely got some rat gut on your feet, bro. Zurabak, I'm very sorry about that.
I dipped them in the swamp.
Like a cat. Its paws. All right, that brings us back to Rilla Longshadow. It is your turn. There's one rat. It's 10 feet from you.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I attacked again, but I got a 2, so that's a 6.
Okay, so Rilla Longshadow draws another arrow from her quiver and fires.
Tree.
Well, there's such a raucous melee now with your companions running about, swinging at things.
I slipped. That's all. Happens.
All right. So that's Rilla's turn. That brings us back to Zurabak. Zurabak, there is one rat left. It is right in front of you.
I'm going to smack it with my stick.
Are you going to try to non-lethally smack it with your stick?
Higher than last time. By 1. 20 altogether.
20 altogether. That is definitely going to be a hit on this fell rat creature.
9 point... No, I can't math, sorry. 5 plus 7.
5 plus 7 would be 12 points of
I was
damage.
going to say 9. That's how math works.
And that rat is knocked right the fudge out. Again, just bowled off that goddamn road. Fantastic. You 3 adventurers have dispatched these dire rats. As soon as the last one has been knocked clean off the road, Sebastian, sitting in the driver's seat of his wagon, claps his hands feverishly. Oh, lovely, lovely, what an excellent job. Oh, I knew traveling in these swamps would be dangerous. I'm so glad I was able to recruit such a strong collection of capable warriors to travel with me and keep me and all of my possessions safe. I truly appreciate it. We bards think of ourselves as seasoned travelers, but obviously I was unprepared for these environs. And he takes out a pair of these like white silk gloves and like nervously puts them on his hands. You've realized traveling with Sebastian that he's kind of like a germaphobe. He doesn't really like to touch anything or have anything touch him, and he's been incredibly uncomfortable the entire time you guys have been traveling through this swamp. He has spent the whole time swatting at mosquitoes and sweating and just trying as hard as he can not to touch any of the flora or fauna.
Every time I see something awful in the swamp that I know is awful, I point it out to him. Not saying anything, I just point at it.
That's great. You'll point out like those. You just point out like some assassin vines. Just don't say a fucking word to him. He's like, oh, that's lovely. God, you're like a cat just bringing dead mice to its master. That's awful. So yeah, obviously still like pretty unsettled for that stuff. But
You have like eye guts on your like just juices. I'm gonna get that, Hector.
All in a day's heroing. It happens.
Hey, is there like a way to get your arrows back, or is that like not a thing?
There's absolutely a mechanic for getting your arrows back in this campaign on this show. Do you say, hey, I get my arrows back?
Yeah.
You get your arrows back.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
Zurabak, Snake, are you okay? How's your foot?
It's currently in the swamp. Zurabak looks at you.
Yeah, Zurabak is currently soaking his feet in swamp water. So that's, down home. Some down home medicine.
Indeed.
So Sebastian says, what a rousing little melee. I am so thankful to be able to chronicle you three adventurers. It is always so thrilling to see experts at work. Zurabak, do you know how much longer it's going to be until we get to Bramble? I'm very, very tired of being out in the wilderness with all of the horrible things that you keep showing me live here. So many things, so much more horrible than I had originally assumed.
Suppose a survival check to know?
I suppose, yes.
Well, I rolled a 2 and got a 10.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you're pretty familiar with these swamps. It's where you live. You're still about like 5 hours out. It's nothing.
I point towards the water, and then I point towards the cart.
I'm sorry. I'm not exactly picking up what you're putting
think
down.
He's saying that if we want to get there faster, we have to push the cart into the swamp?
I point at Hector and nod.
All right. So once again, Zurabak, it sounds like you and I need to have the conversation about how this wagon travels on roads. Roads and roads only. This is Sebastian Weaver's magical wagon of wonders, and it does not trundle through the mud or float, Rilla. That is correct. This is my home, lab, and, home again. Just going to say home twice.
Does this druid never talk? Is that the thing? Is that a thing? Have we gotten a conversation out of you at any point that isn't just you pointing at things and grunting?
You can certainly try now.
He says, I'm just saying, if we've been traveling together, is that what's going on?
How many conversations have you tried to start with him?
I would say several.
Many.
Yeah, many.
I'm trying to get to know the people I'm
What
working
kind
with.
of conversations is the...
Hey, guys, hey, let's do this. You're on the road now. Let's
Yes.
try to have a conversation. Rilla, you want to try to have a conversation with Zurabak?
So, Zurabak, I see you don't kill animals. What's up with that?
Oh, rest assured, unconscious rats underwater do not survive.
He chuckles at that.
That's it? Okay.
Fantastic. All right. Oh,
Is this
sir.
your swamp? It's quite quaint. Flatter than I'm used to.
He gets a weird look in his eyes, starts looking around, and then he nods.
Never thought about that. It is kind of flat. Holy shit. Huh.
Okay. All right.
So you guys continue on your merry way.
It's gonna be a fun podcast.
Well, we can only hope that Zurabak will become less reserved, and
Going to open your heart to us if we keep trying.
God, I hope not.
let's.
We're just trying to get him to open his mouth first.
Open your heart and then your mouth. What? I said that in reverse. Anyway.
No, I think that's right.
Feels like something that might be posted in like a sex ed class.
Open your heart and then your mouth.
See, I went like
Oh,
baking
y'all
with it.
nasty. Y'all nasty. All right. So anyway, you continue along your merry way. You are heading to the village of Bramble, which is nestled deep in the heart of the swamps. Sebastian has informed you all that you are heading there because he has a meeting with a powerful and mysterious druid that goes by the name of Gator.
Have you heard of Gator? Other druid?
Have I heard of Gator?
Zerback.
Dungeon Master.
Zerback. God, have I heard of this thing? Oh God, I just called myself God.
Yes, you did.
Whoops.
I caught
Whoops. Sorry. That's my bad. Whoops. Zerback, of course, you've heard of Gator. Gator is something of a local legend in the swamps of the Briar Marsh. Gator is a powerful and ancient druid that lives a hermit's life far, far, far to the east of Bramble, and farther to the east of the circle of the serpent, the druid circle that you affiliate with. They are solitary. They're incredibly powerful. No one knows exactly what kind of creature they were, but there's basically just a bunch of ghost stories of an immense alligator out there with incredible magical powers that just fucks up anything that tries to mess with the swamp. Sebastian has informed you that he's coming down here to talk to Gator because Gator has some ancient knowledge that he wishes to glean.
He sounds lovely.
So to answer your question, big.
Ooh, a word.
We're making steps already.
How big? And I make sizes with my hands of comparison.
I get out my 10-foot pole. And I poke Sebastian.
Well,
that's
okay.
not-
All right. That's
not very big at all.
That pole just touched a dead rat, by the way.
No. He you used your spear for that,
I
right?
used my spear
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's got a rat stabbing spear of rat stabbing, and then he's got his 10-foot pole for poking your quest giver. Apparently, just poking the NPC. I designed.
He finds this amusing.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. That's the one you used to steer in the swamp. So it's just covered in swamp juice.
Yeah, that's just a light coating of swamp juice.
One of his few personal possessions. 10-foot pole.
So as you
we
guys
travel along, Hector hums just the chorus from some song that some bard sang sometime while he was transporting him through the mountains.
I would assume that it's the same chorus that you've been humming for the past 3 days, and at this point,
Yes, it is.
Sebastian has started just playing the whole song on his flute, it's like, you can come in on the chorus if you'd like. He's just wide-eyed like, meh,
And Hector indeed does come in on the chorus. Every time.
Roll me a perform check. I just want to see how bad you do in singing with this bard, Sebastian, who's playing his flute.
I can't do that untrained.
Okay, roll me a charisma check.
Okay.
I'm just curious.
17!
Holy shit. Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, all those years.
Of humming the chorus.
I know that chorus, man.
I was going to say all those years of war chants and drinking songs in the mead hall have really paid off. So you guys go along your merry way. After just a few more hours, you folks find yourself coming upon the city of Bramble, which looks like this.
He's holding up a picture.
It looks like it's seen better days.
I have a full illustration that I'm holding to the... No, that's not true. This small hamlet squats on sagging wooden pylons over the brackish and stagnant swampland slowly encroaching on all sides. Once an important trading post connecting the local trappers and herbalists with the traders to the north, Bramble is a shadow of its former self. Large portions of the city's wooden foundations have fallen, leaving mounds of splintered wood standing out from the boggy marshes below. As you approach the city, these enormous planks of bone-white wood stand out like gravestones against the black water surrounding the narrow road. As you guys get closer and are inevitably greeted by the two rough-looking guardsmen at the poor excuse for a gate of Bramble, and slowly trundle your way in with the enormous wagon behind you.
Call this a gate.
You have plus 10 to appraise checks for gates and other barriers.
Is your profession gatekeeper?
That'd be really good.
Gate inspector.
So you guys get into this town, and the inhabitants of Bramble do little to improve the grim aesthetic of the town. Stern-faced folks walk quickly from place to place, their bodies tense and their manner terse. Children stare out from the doorways of crumbling hovels with hungry eyes. Mosquitoes buzz through the heavy air that lays on you like a damp cloak. Through the few remaining streets that lay unclaimed by decay, you are brought almost inescapably to the town's only tavern. To call it a tavern at all is charitable. It is simply a bar made of splintery wood, hunched under a faded and tattered awning. A few rickety tables stand in front of it, ringed with makeshift chairs roughly carved out of old barrels. The few patrons look like local toughs, well-muscled men and women in dingy leather jerkins bear old scars, tattoos, and strange piercings. They stare deeply into clay mugs of cheap ale and grumble in hushed tones. The only decoration to be found is the totem naming the place, a rusted metal hunter's trap hanging from the wall behind the bar, its jaws twisted open as if some powerful beast had forced itself free. Zurabak, you've been to this town before. You know that this poor excuse for a bar is known as the Broken Snare. Behind the bar of the Broken Snare is a grizzled old man with stringy white hair that looks like a wiry old root. He stares at you with one eye, his other concealed with an eye patch. This man is Mayor Pike, the mayor of the town and the owner and proprietor of the only bar in town. And as you guys walk up, and Sebastian parks his very large wagon in the open courtyard before this bar, all of the tough customers sitting at all these tables, there's about 5 or 6 of them in all, they all stand up as you guys wander into town, and they all draw clubs and daggers and make a semicircle around your party. And the wiry old man with the stringy white hair behind the bar, while not stopping cleaning the glass that he's been working on since you guys walked up, he comes up from behind the bar and says,
Zurabak, I didn't think your people would have the nerve to come back into our town. The gate guards told me that you were coming and that you had friends. Is this you all finally trying to make your move?
I look at him, and then I look at these people. Friends, strong word. 3 words in a row.
Man, sorry. That's very funny. Sebastian, from his wagon, stands up, and he starts to look like he's going to interject. But the moment he stands up, there's just a fucking, man, all those kids I described earlier, there's just a pack of like 10 children that just run up to this colorful, gigantic Bard's wagon, just yelling and screaming excitedly, "Oh, it's a bird!" And they start demanding like fucking candy and magic tricks and shit. And so he's like, I'm just gonna do this. He starts shooting like sparks out of his fingers and shit. When all these kids show up, it's kind of like that scene in Indiana Jones. The guards all visibly like back down just a little bit, like, oh shit, okay.
I approach the wiry old man, and I reach out my hand. Ah, you know my friend Zurabak. I am Hector, the gatekeeper.
You hear a loud grumble from Zurabak.
You're one of them barbarians from the mountains?
The gates, yes.
We don't see many of your kind down here unless you're accompanying a caravan. What are you?
I look at the wagon.
I also look at the wagon.
Same here.
I meant a trader's caravan. That's obviously a bard's caravan. It's a different. Shut up. You're in my town. You don't come in here and get me flustered.
Things. I am the eldest son of the gatekeeper clan.
I don't care if you're the eldest son of the goddess Narrativa herself. That slippery snake with you and his people.
He has people?
The druids he trucks
Zurabak
with.
is the snake's people. Obviously.
His circle, the circle of the serpent.
You have friends?
Friends, strong word.
My name's Friend Strongword. I'm here to help.
I'm friends with strong words. He
Zurabak,
yells a lot.
listen to me. The hunters and trappers in my town have been going out into the wilderness like we always do, sticking to the agreement. Hunting only what we need to survive, only what we need to trade with the northern traders. They've been all coming back, poisoned all to hell with snake bites all over them. I don't have a single hunter, tracker, or trapper left to try to earn some income for this town. And since it's all snake bites and they're all incredibly poisonous, I can only assume that you and your druid circle are to blame. What happened? I thought we had an arrangement.
Have they tried not going in the snake pits?
They're not going into the snake pits, Zurabak. We know better than that. So what, you don't know anything about this? So this isn't some plan for your druid circle to wipe out my town.
Do druids often like towns?
We have an understanding with the circle of the serpent. We do a little trade with them. They are supposed to give us antitoxin for when stuff like this happens, but there have been so many snake bites lately that we've run out of our stock. Well, if you don't know anything about this, I guess
I've been busy. I then point at the bard.
I can see that. Well,
It's very slow.
well, hell. I thought for sure you all were to blame, but if that's not the case, I guess I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions. We have a decent working relationship. You all look pretty capable. How about a job? And Sebastian, stops for making a fucking balloon animal for some kids, and he's like, an adventure? That sounds like a lovely idea! It's like,
Yes, it does.
Didn't we have a reason for coming here that wasn't an adventure? Shouldn't we maybe do that first?
oh, there's always room for more adventures on an adventure, says Sebastian from his wagon.
I thought adventure was the reason.
The groan gets louder.
Oh, man. I'm kind of with you there.
A band of heroes on an epic quest finds a village in need. How could we not help these people?
How could we? Tell us, what do you need of us?
We need more antitoxin.
Or less snakes.
Or less snakes.
Or better gates?
Here's the situation.
Zurabak chuckles at that one.
If you want to kick in for the gate budget, that's up to you, friend. All right? I'm trying to run a city.
I would be happy to be a consultant.
Gate consulting firm. Jesus. No, Mayor Pike says, what we need is for
our hunters and trackers to get back in the field. You're a gatekeeper. You know how this works. If we aren't able to gather enough resources to trade to the north, the traders will stop coming here altogether. We already see fewer and fewer every year. If they stop coming down here to get the animals and plants that live only in this region, this town is not going to survive, and you'll be doing far less business yourselves guiding people through that mountain pass. We need help. All of my best men are stuck here guarding the town from bandits. If you all can head out to the Circle of the Serpent, pick us up some more antitoxin, that'd sure be a help.
Well, those are your friends, aren't they, Zurabak?
Friends, strong word.
It sure is.
So, will you help us?
Gladly. Right, friends?
Friend, strong word.
Zurabak chuckles.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to As the Dice Turns, the podcast after the podcast, where we take a deep dive into the motivations, characterizations, the feelings, and psychology of our player characters. In this segment, we will have a question to pose to our heroes, Rilla, Zurabak, and Hector, and they will try to find an answer. This is a game and an exercise that we regularly do in our own campaigns, and something that we've thought would be good to carry over to this podcast. So, let's see, what's a good... We've got a list of questions here that are kind of good. All right, here's one. This might be interesting. Rilla, we'll start with you. Who do you idolize? Who does Rilla Longshadow idolize?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm gonna say probably my aunt, because she's literally the only other person I know who has magic.
Gotcha.
And she got the fuck out of the forest.
Yeah.
And didn't have to deal with being stared at constantly.
Sure.
And then I also would think that she is someone that I want to see use her magic, and I know that she only has a few spells left.
Right.
And I really just want to be there when she casts something.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Like
it makes a lot of
anything.
sense.
Yeah.
You're, yeah, I dig that. Not in this world, there aren't too many magic users, and someone that has some arcane might left over. Totally see that happening. So you're kind of following in your aunt's footsteps, just getting the hell out of Dodge and just trying to find your fortune out in the world.
I don't think fortune's the right thing. I mean,
Right.
technically I was sent out, or at least part of it was to try to figure out what happened to my aunt, right?
That's
But
part of your personal motivation, sure.
getting away from the constant attention,
Right.
getting a break from that responsibility that's been shoved on her since, or shoved on me, I guess,
Right.
since essentially I started using spells
Exhibiting
naturally.
magic powers. Absolutely. Yeah. Cool.
Just get a
Well,
break.
That makes a lot of sense. All right. Hector, the gatekeeper, keeper of the gates.
Yes, well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for meeting here with me. It's really lovely, the work that you're doing. What was your question?
The question, Hector, forgive me. I got my cue cards mixed up. Let me get these in order real quick. Okay. Hector, the question is, whom do you idolize? Who's a role model? Whose example do you follow? Who's an idol for you?
Well, I must say, through the years, the many bards that I have met help cross through the gates, my home, where I am from. There's been many stories and many great tales and great heroes for a man to idolize growing up. But at the end of the day, I have to say, Papa. He's just he's a beacon of strength and hope for my people, and I love him like family because he is my family.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. I see. Yeah, I can definitely see the reverence you have when you speak of your papa. Forgive me. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You are, of course, the eldest son of Rufus, the chief of the Gatekeeper clan. A lot of pressure on your shoulders then to sort of live up to his example, huh?
Yeah, but I really thrive under pressure.
Sure.
I find like a good piece of coal. Diamonds. Pressure. That's how that works, right?
I'm sorry, I'm not a chemist. I can't. Can we verify that? Sharon? Can we verify? Yeah, Sharon's saying yes. That is how diamonds are made. Okay, that's excellent metaphor. Nice. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that makes total sense. It's a very good answer, Hector. All right, and finally we got Zurabak, the druid. Zurabak. Everyone's fascinated to know, including Sharon. She personally is overseeing this, trying to see what your answer might be on this. Whom do you idolize?
I've thought hard and long, and only answer is Stick. Stick is strong. Stick pokes well. Stick helps guide.
Interesting. So you idolize the tool that you use to traverse the swamp and also go about your daily tasks of removing traps and setting off snares. So you idolize the tool that allows you to perform your duties.
Very reliable.
Right. So that's Sharon, did you get that? It's the Sharon, it's the stick. Okay. She's writing that down. Interesting. So you idolize an inanimate object that you use to guide your wooden raft through the swamps and also use to just poke the hell out of anything that gets within arm's length.
Yes.
Okay. That's a very interesting answer. Not one that I saw coming, but yeah, that's good. Sharon, did we get that? Okay. What? Okay, no, we're good. All right, fantastic. All right. Well, that was the first edition of As the Dice Turns, the podcast after the podcast, where we take a deep dive into the motivations and characterization of our player characters. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time, keep those dice rolling.
Thank you for joining us here at Challenge Rating 0. We hope that you like, share, and subscribe. Please find us on Twitter at challenge_0 or on Facebook at challenge rating :0. That's 0 ZER the number 0. It's really cool. Email us at challengerating0, all one word, at gmail.com. The music for this episode was provided by the Harp Wolf, Danielle Williams. Find more of her music at danielletaylorharp at bandcamp.com. Challenge Rating 0 was recorded at Game Haven in St. Louis. You can find them on Facebook at Game Haven STL. Once again, thanks for listening. We really appreciate your ears.